Very recently, a petition was started online to remake Chainsaw Man, specifically calling for better comedic timing, a new director, and a new voice actor for Denji. And I gotta say, that's a pretty ballsy request for someone in nut-kicking distance. Seems like there's a new petition coming out every time someone isn't 100% satisfied with something anymore, but this petition has amassed over 2,000 signatures at this point, according to Anime News Network, so maybe we should take this one a bit more seriously. Or maybe we shouldn't, considering that this anime has racked up 189,000 ratings, giving it a 4.9 out of 5 on Crunchyroll alone at the time of making this video. Meaning that about 1.06% of just the people who rated it on Crunchyroll would be calling for it to be redone. Yeah, those numbers aren't looking so hot if you're one of the ones who signed a petition, but today I'll throw you a little bone and we'll take it seriously anyways and look at Chainsaw Man as a whole and if it really should start over. Unfortunately, I have not read the manga, so I will be unable to comment on the differences between the show and the manga, but will instead take an objective look at the anime as a whole to see if it's worth keeping around. As someone who had no idea what Chainsaw Man was about or going to be like before watching, I was both completely ready and not ready for what was to come. The story is exactly what you would expect from your typical shonen. A lonely, incredibly poor boy, minus one left eye, kidney, and testicle, and his pet chainsaw demon, drowning in debt, is eventually forced to merge with his pet demon to survive and ends up getting picked up by an organization of devil hunters. Now Denji must pair up with some very quirky allies to collect enough gun devil flesh to be able to track down and kill the gun devil so that he can continue living his new, comfortable life and win over the heart and boobs of the girl who took him in. Okay, so maybe not exactly what you would expect, but the base elements of your typical shonen are all there. What separates Chainsaw Man from the other shonen, and what really makes it shine in my eyes, is how unhinged the show is. It's violent, it's raunchy, it's unclean, if that makes sense, and the main character Denji couldn't be any more unshonen-like if he tried. He's not out to be the best devil hunter. He's not out to avenge anyone. He's not even out to make the world a better place. He's literally just trying to protect his new cushy lifestyle since the way he lived before was so crappy. And maybe Hakuna a few taras on his way, you know? He's not here to forgive you or understand why you're doing what you're doing. He's here because Miss Makima said sick him and now he's out for blood. Heck, his last moments in the show were of him kicking the balls of his target with Aki to see who could make him scream the loudest, which was somehow the funniest and most wholesome part of the entire show at the same time. Could you imagine Tanjiro or Deku doing that? Well, I can, but only because I have such a vivid imagination. Okay, so the show has an interesting plot and a way to separate itself from other shonens, but what else does it have? Well, how about an original soundtrack straight from the mind of Kensuke Ushio, who was the person behind the music in shows like Boogie Pop, Space Dandy, and even Devilman Crybaby, as well as movies like Liz and the Bluebird and A Silent Voice. And there is no shortage of amazing music to be found in Chainsaw Man, perfectly fitting the show's unhinged nature and containing a wide range of music, from the most epic of battle themes to soft and emotional music that is very reminiscent of his work in A Silent Voice. The music in Chainsaw Man really does help elevate the show to another level. Also, how about the incredible animation and fantastic character designs? All adapted to anime form by Kazutaka Sugiyama, the same man who is credited for the character designs in Darling in the Franxx, Jujutsu Kaisen, Kiznaiver, Mushoku Tensei, The Promised Neverland, Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, Gridman, and even Wonder Egg Priority. And man, they could not have done a better job. I have seen all the characters as they were drawn in the manga, and in the show, they have all been brought to life perfectly. The highly realistic animation with incredible attention to detail for every single character in the show really shines a light on just how much work went into this and how much Mappa wanted this show to live up to the expectations. Which is probably why they brought in such a star-studded cast behind the scenes in people like Kensuke Ushio and Kazutaka Sugiyama, as well as Ryu Nakayama directing and Hiroshi Seko writing the scripts. They've even got CG aplenty in the show, and it actually looks really good. And I hate CG in anime more than you hate the thought of calling your dentist to set up your own appointments. So, should Mappa give in and restart Chainsaw Man? Well, unsurprisingly, the answer is absolutely not. Yes, the show may have technically underperformed a bit based off the original speculations, but I feel like a lot of that was mostly due to how overhyped the show was when it was first announced. People were claiming that this would be the best anime of the decade, and certainly the best shonen we had ever seen, eclipsing the likes of Naruto, Dragon Ball, One Piece, Bleach, and so on, and I feel like that was maybe setting the bar just a bit too high, at least for the show's current 12-episode run. Not to say that it may not do so in the future, but the show just ended and is yet to be greenlit for season 2, so we probably won't know for a while. However, when I say the show underperformed a bit, I literally mean just the insiest of bits, and man was that bar set high. When I say the show has 189,000 ratings on Crunchyroll, that may not seem like much until I tell you that Attack on Titan only has 85,000 ratings, Demon Slayer only has 120,000 ratings, and Spy Family only has 168,000. And yes, these are just the number of ratings pulled from Crunchyroll, but when I tell you that the Chainsaw Man manga has sold 20 million copies compared to Attack on Titan's 110 million copies, well, hopefully that helps put into perspective just how much of a success the show has actually been. Nice! So no, Mappa, don't listen to the opinions of those angry anime fans. Listen to the opinion of this angry anime fan and keep on doing what you're doing. Oh, and if you do actually end up working on One Punch Man Season 3, it would be pretty cool if you'd throw some of that Chainsaw Man love our way too.